Welcome to another episode of the True Beast Podcast, brought to you by xdog.com, where you can find the world's greatest fitness and health enhancement harness for dogs, the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest. Exercising your dog has never been easier than with the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest. And today is a special day as we're going into the ABKC Nationals. Trevor over here, man, he's my boy. As you know, he's always on here, right?
Always in there.
If he ain't drinking protein shakes or lifting weights, he's doing the podcast or TikToks. And we got some special guests in the building, and we got Mr. Sam over here, right? Co-owner of Zero, and of course we got Roger and Dina, who hit a home run out the gate. You guys haven't been in the bully game for a while, have you?
No.
Yeah, so we're gonna put them in the hot seat. We're gonna talk about nationals as it's coming up this Saturday, and we're gonna get nitty gritty. So, man, how was your trip down here, Sam?
It was good.
Yeah.
Quick flight.
Yeah. So, when it comes to this nationals, right? There's something really special about this year. Why do you think there's something special in the air?
Well, for one thing, it's like 2 years in the making. You know, with COVID and everybody staying home, less shows, and now this is the first nationals in 2 years. So yeah, I think everybody's excited about it.
Now, you got a dog by the name of Zero, right? He's going to be competing. And when was the first time that? Because I remember you hitting me up, you're like, "They said I got a special dog, man. I got a really special dog." When did you know you had that special dog?
Honestly, he was a puppy. He was about 7 weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jim and Hannah came over to our house, and we were just going through the puppies and kind of evaluating them.
Mm-hmm.
And he just stood out, and always stood out ever since.
Yeah. How many was in his litter? How many roommates?
14.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a hard choice, man. That's a hard choice.
Yeah.
How do you choose 14? I like when it's about 6 to 7. 14?
Yeah, I mean I was shocked, and they all survived. The mom took care of everything on her own, and she is just the best mom ever.
Jesus.
I didn't have to do anything, just make sure she was fed in fresh water, and that was it.
Oh, so you allowed them to kind of just hang out with the mom then?
I kind of evaluate the females and see, if they're going to be good moms on their own. And the things I look for is like how attentive she is and how careful she is around the puppies when she's laying down. And automatically, once I put her in with the puppies, she laid down flat. And when she goes to lay down, she makes sure there's no puppies around. And then she actually lays on one, she gets up right away. So she kind of like just slows down and just lays and makes sure everybody's good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So we fail to realize, so one of the things that can get French Bulldogs is the aspiration, right?
Yes.
So the irony is one of the guys that's real big on social media, we'll say YouTube, James from I Love My Pups. He says he allows his Frenchie, the ones that are great moms, to just stay in there with the pups, and they do just fine because he didn't have that issue because the puppies kind of eat when they want, so they're not overeating. The mothers are great managers of the litters because they have the patience.
Yes.
So I think that's something that people need to really learn more about. Being attentive and watching your dog's characteristics, and then seeing how she is from start to finish, especially day one.
Yeah.
Is she protective? Is she licking? Is she doing all the things that puppies need to survive? Because if you weren't there, she would do it on her own regardless.
Right.
Yeah, I first seen Zero in person. Seeing him in photos was cool, but seeing him in person is just like the mass on that dog is just bananas, right? So when it came to producing him, was that your vision?
So the vision for that one was out crossbreeding because I have Grim. He's one of the most popular studs.
Sure. And
I needed something that I could take back to my Grim daughters, like more tightly bred females.
Yeah.
So Zero, it's from Champion Bark Wahlberg to our Grim daughter Coco.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a quarter, Grim blood. So we can take him to females that are more tightly bred. But on top of that, we really wanted something to show.
Sure.
We have the extreme dogs.
Yeah.
But we wanted, something that we can. I wanted a short standard.
Mm-hmm.
Short standard with more extreme features. You get the bone, the spread, the rear. Everything else that we want. But I want a dog that kind of fits more of my lifestyle. Being more outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And with the short extreme pockets, it's hard to do that because you have to, make sure that they don't overheat.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more issues.
Yeah.
Same thing like if you were to have a Frenchie, you're not going to take them hiking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you actually be surprised. There are some. So there's a woman in Ecuador who lives way up in the mountains. She breeds the Frenchies, and trust me, I hate Frenchies. And I've got some now only because I found where the bodies are.
Yeah.
And when you get, like, there's a buddy who wants to put one of those e-collars, like one of those collars that can track technology. He texted in Cali on a 3-mile hike, and the dog's fine.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of Frenchies, to your point,
Yeah.
that I'd be like, I'm not buying that dog. I'm not buying a problem. But like anything, quality matters. And, you know, I tell people all the time, the best breeders are not on social media. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The people who actually really are invested in the quality of life, patiently waiting to pick the right dog. They're not trying to get them out their house. They're like, we'll let you know in about 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wonder how much altitude has to do with those Frenchies, though.
Well, you gotta have great nares because you do have to breathe heavier when you get to higher altitudes, which is why the cyclists and people go up there, right? So if the nares begin to do like this, then they already can't breathe. And that didn't even set in until about 6 to 8 months different times.
You know, I went to about 3 weeks ago. I went to Colorado, and I was like, man, I had a beer, and I was like drunk, and I was like, why the fuck am I drunk? I drink liquor, you know what I mean? And it was the altitude. It messed me up. And once I figured that was the altitude, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So let's go back. Let's dial it back to Grim. Like, how did you get Grim, and what was your vision behind Grim?
Well, Grim, I got him from my friend Khan.
Yeah.
And I actually went to his house to pick a puppy up, and Grim wasn't even a factor. I didn't even know about him.
Yeah.
And then it was Khan that brought him out, and he's like, and when he brought him out, he was already like almost 3 months old. So it's like this big,
chunky ass dog.
Yeah, and then he took like a huge shit, you know. And for us, when you get shit on, like a bird poops on you, that's good luck.
Is it?
So, yeah, it is. It is.
You're talking about for Asians, right?
Asians, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, somebody shit on me, I ain't gonna be Asian.
I've been shit on by a few birds.
Fucking dog.
I swear I have.
Yeah. So
I never knew that.
Yeah, my wife said that's good luck. But I'm looking at him, he's like this big, droopy face. I call him an old man because he looks like an old man as a puppy.
Yeah.
And he comes like, no, this is the one. It's gonna be something.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at some other puppies that were just born. I think at that time Big Red was just born, and then there's another dog, Deadpool was born.
Yeah.
But I trusted him, because he knows what he's doing. He's been doing this, a lot longer.
Yeah.
And I still had my doubts because when I took him home, I took him to Jim, Hannah's husband, and we took pictures. I'm like, Jim, what do you think about this dog?
Yeah.
I just don't see it because the first dog I had was Little Rocco, and he was such a pretty dog.
Yeah.
He's just so different from Grim. Grim is like this big, more bull, and then Little Rocco, he's just a sweet looking, cute dog.
Yeah.
And Colin was the one who told me, he's like, you don't want your dogs to be pretty. If you want a stud, for bullies, they shouldn't look pretty.
Why's that?
I think he's more talking in terms of the bullier look. Little Rocco, he just doesn't looks totally different from Grim. Grim just looks like a bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was right.
Yeah. And so you get him over to Jim. You start showing him, right?
Yeah. Well, we started training him at 6 months, and then he, while in training, he caught pile and almost died.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I took him to the vet, and the vet kept him overnight for a couple of days, and they said they couldn't do anything for him. So I said, I'll just, give him the medicine, let me take him home and make him comfortable.
Yeah.
And I took a week off of work. I was in the bathtub with him because he's puking and diarrhea and all that mess. And I stood in there, played music, and then just feed him through like a dropper and just getting him, and getting him comfortable. And then he turned around.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Now think about this. I was talking to Hannah earlier about the dog Grim and how much he's producing. Grim produced Grim, right? And then there's another female dog off there. I forget what her name was. Nene. Yeah, you gotta see her, man. Ridiculous. And she's a color, right? She's a lilac or.
Yes, it's lilac.
And so we'll talk about it on that. So you get Grim, right? And so now it seems like every week you're fucking posting. He's got a reading going on. Yeah. So is he your main stud, or you got some stuff hidden?
He is our main stud right now, and then also Golden Child, his son.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just nuts. Grim was always been busy.
Yeah.
Golden Child, just when he popped up on the scene, Like there's just not enough for him to go around.
Why do you think that is? Because I see him in person. He's a very impressive dog, but he seems like he's almost like kind of almost on the exotic side, right? Like he's borderline.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's more the current times. Like a lot of new breeders now, they're looking for the shorter, more extreme dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not necessarily breeding towards that,
Yeah.
but that's what everybody's wanting at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, like my program is actually going a little bit taller. I want a short standard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like zero. It's
Yeah.
perfect but that's for me.
Yeah.
But the people who are coming to me, they want that in between dog, like almost exotic.
You know, I picked up a dog from Ashley, right? And I saw Patriot, which is off Golden Child, and it's just bananas.
Yeah.
Like, he's bananas. He's just so thick and just short. And a lot of her dogs, they look big in person. I mean, on picture, but when you see them in person, they're actually really compact and,
Right.
and tiny, kind of like him. So I see why she went that direction.
Absolutely, because she brought Loretta Lynn over when she did the breeding with Golden Child.
Yeah.
And I saw her, she looked huge.
Yeah.
And she brought me, I was like, who is that? And she's like, that's a Loretta. I was like, what?
Yeah.
She's this tiny, she's really short dog, but she has these big boy features.
Mm-hmm.
Really extreme.
So you were telling me about this dog named Precious, right? And of course, how did you guys interact with me? How did this happen?
Well, I was trying to message Sam a couple of times. Normally like Facebook, email.
Mm-hmm.
Like busy man, so he didn't really get back to me soon. But I don't remember how Precious came about exactly.
I do.
Do you? You tell the story.
Sam brought Precious to a show,
Oh, that's right.
and I wanted her bad. I knew it.
Yeah.
That was my dog, like
Really?
my dog.
Yeah.
From the moment I laid eyes, even talking to Hannah, I was like, I love this.
How did you get involved in the dog game, bullies in general? Like, what got you involved in it?
Well, I go to Ocean City every year, stopped in a skateboard shop, and said, what is that?
Yeah.
And he said, an American Bully.
Okay.
And I knew from that moment on, that was my breed.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I've had all kinds of dogs, but there's nothing like an American Bully.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I agree.
They love you, you love them. They're just good dogs.
Yeah.
So then Sam and his wife, Vanessa, bring the dog into the show. Like I say, I know that's my dog. I'm like, that's my dog.
Yeah.
I didn't know it yet.
He didn't know. He thought it was his dog.
Yeah.
So then he leaves the show and takes her. My heart was broken.
Yeah.
Because I co-own several dogs with Sam, and it's a relationship that just works.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing relationship.
So how did you know, saying like right on top that Precious was special? Like, and how'd you let her go? Like,
Oh my God, that was hard, because I talk, we have quite a few litters,
Yeah.
and which ones are gonna be special,
yeah.
and I was talking to my wife because I consult her with everything, and she's like, we have to keep her for ourselves.
Yeah.
We can't sell her, she can't go anywhere. And this girl, I babied her, I got hold like a baby every day, every day.
Reminds me of my girl, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, and then obviously she got too big now, but we can tell from the special ones. For me, you can tell them from the day that they're born.
We had brought in David earlier, and he's like, man, as soon as Blue had came out the womb, he knew right off top. But you said that with Zero, it's about 7 weeks, right?
Zero stood out since he was born too.
Yeah.
And this is what I learned from Jim and Hannah. It's like, do they stay special
Yeah.
through the whole time?
Yeah.
Patience is the name of the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different bloods are gonna mature at different different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Zero was special, Precious was special, and I took her to the show for on purpose.
Yeah.
I wanted to show them. I wanted to see how they felt about it, even though I had reservations about even letting her go. But to me, what's important is the connections.
Yeah.
Right.
And having her with somebody like them that I know they're gonna take care of, I know they're gonna do justice,
Mm-hmm.
and then making the not only the business connection but the friendship,
Yeah.
the partnership. this is where you can elevate not just yourself but your partners.
Yeah, absolutely.
So putting a dog like that into their hands, to me, it's just like it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. So as far as your productions wise, right? Like with Grim, top five productions that you produce. And it don't have to be off Grim. It's just your top 5 productions.
Of course, Zero. I have to say Zero. Precious. Luca is one of my favorite Grim productions.
He's pretty popular right now. Like, what's the buzz on him? Like,
he's so to me, I like him because overall, like for a short dog, on his frame and his muscle, he moves very well. It's hard to get a dog, an extreme like dog like that, to move well. It's rare. I don't know. Like some of my favorite dogs, as I get more extreme, they lose the movement. Even Luca now, he's gotten a little bit too extreme for the show ring.
Yeah.
We're still gonna show him, in the champion class and nationals just to show him off.
Yeah.
But
can you take a second while you're going through there and educate people on the importance of mobility and function? Because I mean that's when I jump back into breeding space. My thing was making sure that I do breed the standard. I know the American Bully is supposed to be an extreme version at the root of it of a pit bull, no matter what they say. That's the root of it. Let me make a better, extreme, bigger head and keep it consistent. But I think people lose sight when you just keep adding, bigger heads, wider chest. And then being an outdoor person like myself, I'm the same way. I'm like, if I don't got a dog that can walk at least a mile, it's not a dog.
Right.
This is the problem. You know what I mean? So if you could, just make sure people know the importance of function in this breed as well.
Yeah, and this is exactly the reason why I'm choosing to go, with dogs that are a little bit taller. Even though right now I think the way that they're pushing the breed is towards more extreme features, which is gonna lose some functionality.
And a good thing either.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing. Not for the dog, people. I mean, for yourself, you might like looking at it, but the cost that goes up with soft palates and very like the congestion, no disrespect to people who are overweight. I live on the human ergonomic side of the body, right? But basically what happens when any dog, even muscle people, right? Lou Ferrigno, he did a master's class at 40 years old. He had 1% body fat, and he had to use an MRI machine because they couldn't take an x-ray. His organs were hurting because they were overworking, right? It takes that much more work to get that blood to flow, which keeps us functioning throughout our body. So if your dog cannot breathe, cannot sweat in a sense, it loses functionality, its organs and stuff its quality of life goes down.
Right.
You go from 7 years to 14 years because the dog its inner being cannot live or survive.
Right. And especially with the shorter extreme dogs, like micros and pocket extremes, the movement is so restricted that they don't even really need to move much to develop their muscle.
There you go.
And then the problem is like the frame stays small, and then the organs can continue to grow at a normal size, and that becomes a problem.
There you go. Listen to what he said. Organ size. So what happens when someone has an enlarged heart? Think about that. Think about those little things. Or when no disrespect to the dwarf people, but when you look at someone who's they do not move well.
Right.
They don't. They have no hip mobility. In dog space, what ends up happening, the dog lacks synovial fluid, so now they got stiff stifles, so they're walking like 2 peg legs.
Yeah.
You really do lose a lot when you're so focused on extremities.
Right.
So I appreciate you even bringing that up about raising the standard of even the height, because that improves the organ development and its functionality.
Right. Like even like for my dog, like I love Golden Child. He's a dork. You can tell that because his butt is freaking just massive muscles.
I was going to say that. You were talking about, I was like, they always have amazing asses. Like when you think about it, you've never seen one without a perfect ass. Both guys and girls.
I mean, you can bounce a quarter off that thing, But he's a
you know what I'm talking about, though, right? When you really think about it, like, damn, she got a nice ass.
It's about 60 fucking inches off the ground. I'm not bad, not 60, that's 5 feet. But it's about 2 feet off the ground when you go, that motherfucker is juicy.
Perfect and round.
Yeah. But even dogs like that, they have their purpose in a sense, right?
Yeah.
You can use them as a breeding tool.
Yeah.
Like we have a puppy out for him right now named G-Force, and His angulation is perfect. His movement is perfect. I mean, he's still a puppy, but very, very, he has very good show prospects. So we're excited about, eventually showing in the ring.
So you guys made history with Precious, right? You guys.
Yeah.
So let's talk about her story.
Sure.
What are your expectations this weekend for her?
To be honest, it's just an honor for her to be in the ring
Mm-hmm.
of dogs of that caliber
Yeah.
at 12 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's an honor for anybody to be there, but to be there at 12 months now,
Yeah.
that's really my only expectation, is for her to go out there and have a good time. She loves the ring.
Yeah.
She loves Hannah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hannah has been a blessing to our program.
Let's talk about the importance of the relationship and having a handler and putting your ego to the side and not being an owner and handler. You know what I mean? Like, how important is that?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Without the help of Hannah and Jim, we wouldn't really have a program that's out there representing these dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dog with Hannah right now that it's a 0 such that is going to be the bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, he is 0 through and through. But if I didn't have him with her, because I don't have the time to train him.
Mm-hmm.
I run 4 businesses, take care of 14 dogs.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have Hannah there backing us up with our program, we wouldn't have a program. Basically, we're a family.
Yeah.
We are a family, and without that family and support from each other, you don't have a program.
How do you deal with the separation and being away from your dog and stuff?
Oh, I knew we were going to go there.
Yeah, how challenging is that?
It's, if Seven were with anybody else,
Yeah.
I would struggle. I would call every day.
Yeah.
But I know he's with my handler.
Mhm.
My handler cares for my dog as is her dog. It is. It's like, for us, it's a team.
Yeah.
0 is all of our dogs.
Yeah.
Grim is all of our dogs. We're a team, and I think that's what makes the bond with all of us so much different
Yeah.
than what you may see from others.
Now, what type, not to get into personal business or anything, but like what type of investment is it to hire a handler?
I imagine it's a pretty good investment.
Yeah.
As I said, Hannah is my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure we get the family discount.
Yeah,
But
I don't call it an expense. Like it's an actual investment. And that's why I want people to understand. Like when you get in this game and you're actually going to, compete at the highest level, you have to make these investments. It's important to,
yeah, you have to have family also. I mean, you have to have, everybody there is so kind to each other.
Yeah.
I know you hear a lot of bad things about the bully community, but the bully community has honestly changed our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it has.
Yeah.
We work hard all week so we can get in that car and go be with our family.
Mhm.
And I think also what's different about us is, for instance, Nene.
Yeah.
Nene and Precious will compete against each other, but we're such good friends. If Nene wins, we win.
Well, we talked about it in an earlier episode how important competition is. I think this is very special. Like the Grand Champion class is going to be, like I've been watching American Bullies. I've been since the message boards back in 2002, 2003, right? And then I ended up getting out of the game because I was just like, I was in a bad financial situation, got in trouble and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I can't bet in this league, right? So I found a different direction, found a different avenue, which now led to all this, right? And so being able to be aware of that like really helped out. But like to see the quality of dogs and the evolution of the bully, American Bully specifically from 2002 to now, it's just remarkable. I was telling Trevor, man, I was like, damn, this shit is amazing. And then he's bringing dogs over that I never even heard of, before through some other people. But I just think this Grand Champion class is going to be remarkable. I just really do.
Yeah, I'm excited, and especially since it's been 2 years since the last, nationals. There's got to be so many dogs that are hidden. So anything could happen.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to keep it interesting. But again, it's a beautiful thing to be on this side of the table versus you guys' position, because we don't have to go with that stress and anxiety.
I get to be a fan.
That's it. I get to clap and say good luck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, the other thing I think we talked about too, and not to cut you off, boss, but just the importance of family. So I've built a lot of community with David and Aaron and Claudia and Sergio, and I too got out for a little bit because the bully game just got fucked up, to be clear. and I had no interest in the direction it was going, and I think they lost vision in terms of keeping the vision, in the right direction. So you get these exotics, but we haven't even really defined the American Bully. How do we keep creating problems or even more registrations? We brought up that the dogs potentially one day being recognized, I think in the last episode, Westminster. And the thing about Westminster is, it's not that it's that, but I saw a golden retriever that was just gorgeous, Where is that dog at? You literally see, you look at your dog, you're like, I thought this was a golden retriever or a borbal or something. You go, you see that fucking dog? Where'd I get that one? That's the point of these kind of shows and platforms. And in my opinion, I think the bully at some point lost sight. So I literally jumped back in going, I gotta fucking fix this. And part of fixing it is building a community and really bringing people back together to work together, because if we're not talking or sitting out at the table, we can't better the dogs. And that's what it should be about. Fuck the people. Let's just talk about dogs. Let's see if we can put the right matches together and build some great pedigrees, get back to building bloodlines. Things that really, I guess in a sense, define what a dog should be in the bully space. Because when I even saw the Staffy at this show, I was like, God, these dogs are fucking amazing. I've watched that thing. I've watched it 3 times. I'm just like, you see the dog, man, Chihuahua looks better. It's frightening to see that, but then, like you said, 2 years in the making, we get to see, some dogs get a chance to compete at the highest level and keep building this community, which I know we're doing at Expo.
Yeah, and so, you being a visionary, right? Because at the end of the day, I see you as a visionary as well. Do you think there's enough, blood to go around to where it's not so saturated? Because you're always thinking about the future. You say you're growing up tall, right? You're getting a little bit taller. You're thinking way ahead. You're thinking long term. Do you think there's enough blood to go around,
I honestly, the blood that we have now, I think it's enough to work with.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be, room for improvement down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So the important thing for me is, once all this COVID stuff, clears up and we can travel more.
If it does,
right? I want to see other people's programs. I want to talk to other, other programs, because I'm looking when I'm looking to add new blood, I want a program that's consistent.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing more line breeding and doing it the right way.
There you go, man. Listen, that's why everything he said. That's why I got back in, man.
Yeah.
Because I keep looking at scatter breeding, all this nonsense. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm good. We got a dog now that has got a great pedigree, but I'm never going to use him on anybody else. And he wasn't cheap. We're talking over 5 racks. It had to come out of our, but I know how to use his blood, right? To get what I need. So even when you take the small dogs with the large dogs, use a corkscrew, tighten up his look, add the chest, different things where they really concentrated on getting a look, and that's the problem with it. So I think that even the question you're asking is like, hey, where do you go to continue to get the quality? I think it's going to be very difficult in the American bully space, because people are just Instagramming and Facebooking and seeing what happens.
Right. Yeah, you have to go see the dogs, talk to the breeders, and make sure your program is aligned.
Yeah.
Or their program has something that you need.
Yeah.
And we're planning to do kennel tours and to do that.
What did I tell you, man? I told him I said, look, I'm about to go out in Cali for a week and hit every kennel. I know I'm gonna spend time in certain environments, record, shoot, edit, and build relationships.
Yes.
I need to see what's going on. Me jumping back in, I'm old school. I used to go, I knew where the backyards were. I knew where every dog was. I need to go put my hands on them.
Yeah.
I gotta see them on 2 eyes. If I don't see them, I'm not giving them no money. That's for damn sure.
So as far as your guys' goals and vision, we'll start with you, Sam, and then we'll get with you guys on that. What's your vision and your goals in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years,
have you won a national championship ever?
No.
Okay, so we gotta put that on the bucket list, right?
Yes, definitely.
How old is it?
Oh, actually, no, I take that back. We did win nationals, BRC nationals.
Oh,
yes.
You did. Congratulations. Congratulations.
So and then ABKC, of course, and then hopefully from there, we have Euro Nationals coming up too.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be fun. I actually took Rocco. Me and my wife took Grand Champion Rocco to Italy for Euro Nationals.
Yeah.
And he took that show. So.
Nice.
And that was fun.
How are the European dogs, American bullies, compared to over here?
Well, when we were there for the show, the European dogs, American bullies, they're a little more extreme. extreme than what we have here in
Really?
the showrooms. Yeah.
Hey, listen, people. Sometimes our topics get a little bit longer. We don't want to cut it just at 30. If we're really rolling, we keep this thing going. Therefore, at the end of our YouTube, you will see, hey, jump on the links listed below. Follow us on Spotify,
Sure.
Apple,
Sure.
where else? Google.
Wherever else you guys
Wherever-
listen us at.
Yeah, wherever we're listed at, and continue to follow and listen to the show, whatever we're talking about. Hopefully you enjoy the topics. Stay tuned. Appreciate you guys' support.
Yeah, and as always, man, leave us a comment, subscribe, share. In the comments or in the reviews, also, leave us some topics that you would like us to discuss. We don't hold back, so if you want us to talk about something, be sure to leave it there. So, as always,
Team X Dog Strong.